Thanks for tuning in to the Witcher Math channel. Thank you. Woohoo! Today we're going to talk a little bit about comparing and putting fractions in order when you're not allowed to use a calculator. This comes up a lot on tests, and a lot of people know how to do things with calculators, but then don't understand it enough to do it without a calculator. So here's a little strategy for you. I hope it helps. If it doesn't, try something different. Here we go. So let's say you have this problem. 3/4, 5/7, which is greater, right? Some problem where you're greater than, less than, putting them in order, or something like that. Well, without a calculator, it's kind of tough, right? And especially if you need to show your work. So a table is a great way to go. On a calculator, of course, all you would do is, in this order, you'd go 3 divided by 4. You'd get that answer. You'd go 5 divided by 7. You get this answer. And you would circle 3/4. But since we're not allowed to on this test or whatever you're taking, let's find a way to do it without. So we're going to take the denominators. We need a common denominator. A good way to do that is to use a table. First, we're going to take the 4, and we're going to take the 7. We're going to start counting by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. We're going to start counting by 7s, like in a football game. 21, 28, 35. Do we have a match? Did we match anything yet? Nope. So we need to keep counting. 24, 28, 32. Keep going here. Wait! Don't keep going. Look! You should always pay attention when you're making a table, because sometimes you're done and you don't even know it. We had a match at 28. Okay, so here's what we're going to do with that. We're going to take the 3/4. We're going to make a giant 1 next to it. And we're going to count how many 4s did it take to get to 28. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 4s to get to 28. I'm going to multiply straight across on the top. 3 times 7 is 21. 4 times 7 is 28. There's our new equivalent fraction for 3/4. The important thing is that's going to allow us to compare it to 5/7 and see which is greater. Okay, let's do the same with 5/7. Once again, we're using a giant 1, but sometimes you don't know what to put in the giant 1 to keep it efficient and simple. So we're going to count how many 7s. 1, 2, 3, 4. It took 4 7s. That's what we used to fill the giant 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1, after all. That's why it's called that. 5 times 4 across the top, 20. 7 times 4 across the bottom, 28. Now it's easy to compare which one is bigger. This one, which is equivalent to 3/4. We're done. So we can use a table to create the giant 1, or to create a multiplier for an equivalent fraction, and then it's easy to compare two fractions. Let's do one more, and then I'll give you a couple to practice with. 2/3, 7/12. Which one is greater? Take a table. First step, denominators. Then we're going to count 3, 6, 9, 12. Do I need to fill in 12s? No, I don't. That's the smallest common denominator, the least common denominator right there, the lowest number that both numbers multiply into evenly. So for 7/12, I don't need to do a thing because I didn't have to count any 12s. For the 2/3, how many thirds did I have to count? 1, 2, 3, 4. Since I counted 4 of them, I'm going to fill the giant 1 with that. That's my multiplier, which gives me the 12s on the bottom. On top, it gives me 2 times 4 is 8. 8/12 is larger than 7/12. 8/12 is equivalent to 2/3. That means 2/3 is greater than 7/12. All right, time for a couple of practice problems for you to do on your own. I'll write these down. You do them after pausing the video. Then you come back and we will correct them together. Here we go. You're going to see which one is greater in both of these examples. 5/8 or 3/5. Which is greater, bigger? And also, we're going to compare 5/6 and 3/4. Hope you can read my writing. Go for it. Pause the video, do the problems using the table and the giant 1 technique. See how that works for you. Hope you like it. See you in a few. Boo! We're back. Wake up. Okay, let's do these problems. I changed to red because it's just crazy. You're totally wide awake right now. Whew. Okay, first of all, I'm going to take the denominators to create the table. So we're going to have an 8 and a 5. I'm going to count by 8s. 8, 16, 24. In my head, I'm going to make myself stop as soon as I have something that's divisible by 5, right? Something that ends with a 0 or 5. Ooh, I'm going to stop right there at 40. Okay? Then I'm going to count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. There is our common denominator. That's the smallest number, the first one we found that both 8 and 5 fit into evenly. Okay? So we're going to start with the 8s. Take the giant 1. How many 8s did we have to count? How many 8s? Because that's what's going to go in the giant 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We multiply straight across, we get 25 40ths. Now we're going to take 3/5, watch out, color change, and have a giant 1. How many 5s? You already know the answer, right? Let's count anyway. Let's just check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On the Ocho, tonight on the Ocho, equivalent fractions. 24 40ths. Which one is greater? 25 or 24? Yes! You know it, you know it. Since that's equivalent to 5/8, that means 5/8 is more than 3/5. Okay? We're not even using decimals or anything. We're just troubleshooting old school style with a table and a giant 1. No calculator? No problem. Let's do another one. The other practice problem you had. 5/6 and 3/4. Sliding on up. Sliding on up. Okay? You're going to use the denominators. 6 and the 4. Don't use the numerators. That's just silly. It won't work. Okay? Use the denominators, not the numerators. 6, 12, 18, 24. Let's get started with the 4s. 4, 8, 12. Stop. Once you recognize that you have a match, you're done. Right? Look at all this extra work I did here. Ooh, didn't need to do that. Okay, so with 5/6, I'm going to take my giant 1. How many 6s did I have to count to get to 12? 1, 2. 2 goes in the giant 1, and I have 10 12ths. What color is he going to use now? Well, you probably figured out I only have 3, so let's go for this one. Blue. Blue cheese, bacon, burger. Hungry? How many 4s did it take? 1, 2, 3. 3 goes in the giant 1. Multiply straight across. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. Which is greater, 10 12ths or 9 12ths? You got it. Red circle coming right up. Since 10 12ths is equivalent to, or the same as 5/6, that means 5/6 is greater than 3/4. We are done here. Just over 10 minutes. More videos to come, but hopefully this will help you troubleshoot if problems like this coming at you on a test with no calculator allowed. That should make you smile, because now you have a way to attack it. Thanks again for watching. Love it.